Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's Barbie with me tonight?
It's Tiffany, Albertin, and that's...
Oh, am I supposed to go? I'm Brittany.
Welcome.
My next? I'm so sorry. Wow, we're already fucking this up so bad. Hi, I'm Helena, or you can call me content creator Barbie.
And where can we find you at, Helena?
You can find me anywhere at Hell Hath Fury, and then I stream on Twitch as Hell Hath Fury TV.
I'm Ashley.
And welcome. And we are here to talk about Barbie. It came out in 2023, directed by Greta Gerwig, if I can talk. So I remember seeing this movie in theaters, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this movie. And I remember thinking to myself as this movie finished watching, I want to record with this group. That's exactly what went through my head immediately. Tiffany, what's your history? I was going to say movies. Yeah, talk.
I saw it with you and my mom. It was actually my mom's idea. She wanted to see it, and so did Mike. And I told my mother-in-law it was Mike's idea to see the movie, and she was like, "No, it wasn't." I was like, "Yes, it was," and she was like, I don't think so. And I just, I had no words. We were texting, and I literally was speechless for the first time in my entire life. I had no words. Usually I have a sassy comment.
Yeah, because I'm a very manly man, you know. Very manly. Mm-hmm.
She's like,
so macho.
Yeah, really. I mean, look at my curtains behind us, you know. Very macho there. I guess maybe. But they're not meant to be. They're just DC superheroes. My wife bought me. And Brittany, what is your history with this movie?
So I'm cheap, so I didn't go to the movies and see it. So I waited till it was free, okay? I saw it maybe a month ago, and I really enjoyed it. There were some scenes that I was kind of like, oh, wow, you know? But yeah, I enjoyed it. I was very surprised about, how they portrayed Ken in it. Let me just say that much. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Ashley.
I saw it in theaters with my mom because she wanted to go see it. I think I went in thinking of my own idea of what Barbie meant to me as a kid, and I came out with a totally different mindset. I definitely think it's a mature version of Barbie because there were lots of little kids there, but I think it was good for little girls there. But I also think it was good for them to see that movie as well. But I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
And Helena.
So I did the Barbenheimer thing where I went and saw Barbie, and then I saw Oppenheimer in the same weekend. And let me just say, I strongly prefer Barbie. I grew up playing with Barbies, and my favorite one was my Scary Spice Barbie. And I still remember one of the highest disappointments I've had as a child was when my bitchy neighbor took my Scary Spice and she bent it and one of the legs snapped off and my mom wouldn't replace it. So I just had a one-legged Scary Spice. I was devastated, but I loved Barbie. So yeah, it's one of my favorite movies now, actually.
Super damn good. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting it when I went to the movie theater. I almost teared up in this movie because it just has so much meaning to it. I did.
It was way more mature than I thought it would be. I wasn't sure how they were going to make it a kids movie, but I'm really glad that they didn't go that route because I think it would have done a real disservice to the story.
Yeah, I like how they put side notes Barbie was discontinued because of certain things. You know what I'm saying? I really like that they did that because I then Googled it, let me look why this Barbie was discontinued. And when did this happen? I had no idea. So
I can't believe
was it all accurate?
Was discontinued.
Yeah, so the Mitch one was discontinued because the population at that time thought that she was too young to be pregnant and she wasn't married.
She wasn't supposed to be a teenager. She was supposed to be an adult. And since she wasn't wearing a ring, everyone assumed she wasn't married.
Yep.
Even though, it came as a family unit, there was a package with a family unit.
Yeah.
I read, before I saw the Barbie movie, I read a whole article about the discontinued. So I was looking for them. I was like, I have this one in there.
It was nice touches. It really was. Oh, and kind of the plot of this movie, just give a very quick, short, my version of a rundown. Barbie goes into the real world to find out why she's upset. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not here yet.
No, he's not. And it's something he started doing, so I'm trying to put in all the movie episodes, but I don't have much. I do forget.
Ken does it better.
Ken does do it better. Yeah.
Where's Ken?
He is Knuff.
And let me tell you, that's my new favorite thing. Knuff. There's a pillow at Sam's Club that has Ken enough, basically, and I'm like, oh my God, I should get that just because.
I mean, one thing that I thought was interesting is the discourse when this movie came out. How many people were like? How many women I heard were upset about it? And that's the part that baffled me. Like, how can you be like this movie? Like, you're missing. I feel like. I mean, I understand when some men were upset about it because the men that were upset about it were most likely 100% idiots. So I get it.
I think more men would have enjoyed it. To be honest, I think they honestly.
But there's too much saying that women should have rights, and some men don't like that. I mean, some men refer to women as female, so right there, there's a key sign of assholes.
And there's a lot of men who are very
thanks.
There's a lot of men who are like really resistant to watching it too. Like, I've spoken with some male friends and been like, "Hey, are you going to see Barbie?" They're like, "Oh my God, no!" It's like, why not? That's a girls' movie. Like,
not really.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Barbies were marketed for girls. Like, I understand it, but at the same time, it's like you're hearing all this feedback that this movie is really good and that it's not just about like the toy itself. Like, it's about more than that, and you're still resistant because you have a view that it is only for women. More men should watch it, to be honest.
I mean, there's so much meaning to this movie. That's what also blew me away. Like, I was surprised how much they fit in here and what they were going for. Because originally I thought, okay, it's just going to be like from the trailers, you see Margot Robbie as Barbie in the Barbie world. I'm like, okay, like, we'll see. And then that's not what the movie is. That's not the meaning of the movie.
And it surprised me how many people didn't understand. Well, I didn't like it. I was like, but it has a powerful message. What message? I didn't get it.
I don't understand how people miss the message.
My women friend didn't understand. My women friend didn't understand the message. I'm like, you have little girls. Like, this is disheartening for me that you said that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get that. I don't know. It just kind of like surprised me a bit. Now, when I was rewatching this movie, I didn't take any notes, but I was trying to pay more attention. Like, I do want to mention like the opening. It does make me laugh as a reference to 2001 Space Odyssey. That makes me laugh. I know, but I knew it too. But it just makes me laugh that it's just there because I don't like that movie that much, by the way. The movie's boring. Great movie for what it is, but it's boring as hell.
It was a really stellar opening, and I loved that they incorporated that opening into the trailers because I remember watching it and just being like, what is this? This is so different than what I was expecting. They really did a great job advertising and marketing.
But I feel like it also was a fuck you to certain people too, like film buffs. Like, oh, this is one of the perfect movies, and here you're having this scene referenced in a Barbie movie. So I'm sure it upset some men out there. So
I do have a comment about like when Helena said the marketing. I think a lot of people may have felt that it was like over marketed, and maybe that's why it deterred a lot of people from going. But I think it was probably like a great idea to market it the way they did because I think more people actually did go. I had a conversation with someone yesterday about like the Barbie movie got brought, and they brought up how like, oh, it was just everywhere. Everybody wanted to go to, like, Barbie was just all over the place. And I was like, I enjoyed it. I mean, it got me to go. So, and I would buy all the stuff that had Barbie on it. So.
I mean, after this movie, they opened the Barbie Cafe at the Mall America shortly after this.
I did it twice.
Yes, so fun.
Is it still open?
No, they closed a couple weeks ago.
It's a pop-up, so it's usually in like your cities.
I think it was open while you were here. We should have told you about it, Helena.
Yeah.
What the hell? Do you guys even like me? What do you mean?
I'm so sorry.
It was super fun. And the cute thing about it, there was so many like dads with their kids, and like they were wearing like pink, and like at the cafe they would be like, oh, hey, Barbie. Oh, hey, Ken. And they would like come up to you and be like, call you Barbie. And if you were a guy, they would call you Ken. So it was like super cute and adorable. I mean, it was a little expensive, to be honest. The food was okay. But overall, I mean, it was a good experience. You could roller skate. And I went twice. I went once with Ashley, and then I took my nieces. And there was like a group of 11 of us. And there was like 5 girls, little girls, like, like probably first, second, kindergarten. And they loved it. They had a time of their life. They took pictures. They roller. It was cute. It was definitely,
We didn't go to it. I forgot it was there, kind of.
I assumed it was going to be expensive, so the Mike and me came out, and I decided
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. was definitely an experience, and it was like it definitely hit the nostalgic part of us that know Barbie for that reason. And it, like Brittany said, it was cute to see like dads take their daughters and stuff, and kind of connects to like that whole message of the movie raising.
Speaking of the dressing up, for those of us who went to the theater, did you guys notice a lot of people dressed up to go?
Yes.
Yes and no. I went, and the theater that I went to was kind of smaller, but there was a little girl. I remember seeing a little girl dressed up in like a Barbie type cute dress, and she had her little Barbie with her. That was really cute to see, and yeah, you could tell like she was excited to go see the Barbie movie.
We had girls full on Barbie costumes, and I told Mike, these are the chicks that make fun of us for dressing up at the Lord of the Rings movies. Like
Or cosplays.
I could just tell that's the kind of girls we were. And they were just full Barbie costumes.
Mhm.
And I wore my aqua sweatshirt. I was like...
We saw it opening day, I'm pretty sure, Thursday.
Oh, maybe I didn't
Yeah.
wear my outfit.
No, we hadn't seen Aqua yet.
My bad.
We did wear something pink.
I did wear something.
I got a Barbie shirt and a little pink skirt and some like pink fishnets. And when I went, there were a lot of women dressed up. And the one that like actually started tearing up was this much older woman who was all pink and like white hair, you know, like kind of like the kyphosis, like kind of bent over. But she was smiling like ear to ear, getting ready for this movie and like the whole getup. And I was like, there are these like, little girls over here dressed up, and then this older woman over here, and we all like loved the same thing, and it brought all of us joy. And now like we're all coming together, like young women and older women, and all enjoying the same thing together. Like it just like it choked me up a bit to see.
I mean, that's the things that make this movie so special, and that's like the discourse of it was interesting to me. Like after it came out, and people were like, you had a lot of people complaining on the internet, and it just made me laugh because it like, if you want to show you're an asshole, here's how you do it, type of thing.
I was so tired of arguing with those people. I just stopped.
Yeah, because it's and like the way they portray Ken in this movie, I love it. I think it's hilarious. I think it's good. I think it's a very good point to kind of show men sometimes what women go through, and a lot of men didn't like that. Pretty sure.
Because it was spot on.
It was. It really is. You know, like I mean, there's a key thing I want to talk that I want to mention about that I don't know if I caught the first time, but I caught this time 100% is when they first go in the open into the real world and Barbie's skating and she makes a comment to how she can feel like there's an undertone of violence. I think it's the word that she uses. I think it was violence.
Yeah, and she doesn't feel.
And I mean, it made me think about what women go through all the time. You know, and it's just like. And some people don't realize, I mean, a lot of men, I don't think, realize that or care.
And what Ken say? He said, I feel admired. And Barbie's like, I don't.
Yeah.
Admired and
He said, I feel respected.
Respected.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's just such a, like, you know, they're getting across to such a valid point and such a thing that some people deal with, and they do it in a very subtle way, or maybe not that subtle, but I liked it. I'm like, this is like, you're getting, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are going to connect with this, who have gone through this.
Yeah, it's very true.
I went with a date to see it, and afterward I was like, wow, that's so powerful. It really like resonated with me. And he's like, oh. I was like, what do you mean, oh? Did that not do anything for you? And he was like, oh yeah, I mean, it was okay. I'm like, what?
Did you give him a second date, though?
That was our.
What was that?
Did you give him a second date? That's just my one question.
Oh, we were together. We were dating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was my boyfriend.
Okay.
But I learned a lot that day, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is good to know. We're not together anymore.
Okay.
Not because of Barbie, but partially because of Barbie."
But also, any guy that dates you should know how you are in general. Like, yeah, to be that stupid to watch something that's like, you know, very, very pro women and be like, yeah, it was okay. Like, you not know the person you're sitting next to.
He should have.
You would think so. Like, anyone who dates me knows I'm, you know, a little opinionated. So, I mean.
Just a little, right?
Like, yeah, you know. You don't like it.
Everybody knows that the first time they meet you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you met her dumbass brother the one time. It's okay. He won't listen to this. He hates me. And his daughter was there, and she was dating this guy. And you made a comment like, if the baby's not yours, will you take care of the baby? He's like, no. And you just gave him the look.
gosh, no, she went full on, I think.
Yeah, it was great. It's okay. He was gone anyway shortly after. She's like, he's a fuckboy, and then never saw him again. So,
I still remember that. I was just so shocked about the whole situation. Like, I just couldn't hold my tongue. Like, it was just so hard. And I was like, I'm going to say it. I don't even care.
I purposely bring you to meet certain people sometimes.
We talked about that yesterday. We're like, too bad Brittany hasn't met Nicole yet.
but I mean, sometimes you just, people. I'm trying to think where I want to go with this. I'm not sure where I was going either. I got completely sidetracked what I wanted to say.
Good job, Brittany.
It's all Brittany's fault. I guess judge your audience. Like, know who you're with and know what people should be aware of things like that. And I think, like, everything with this movie, like the way that they portray Ken and all the men, it's fucking hilarious to me. But I know that people were offended by it.
I feel like the only man in the movie that was like kind of like portrayed in a good sense was the Barbie that was discontinued. What was his name? I can't think of him. He was technically
Alan?
Alan. Like Mitch's boyfriend. Wasn't he Mitch's like baby dad in a sense?
Was he? I think.
No, he's just Ken's friend, I thought.
No, I thought I looked it up, and it was Mitch's baby dad. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't think it said her husband, and I think he called her boyfriend, but they have kids together. So I that's what I thought it said. I'm like 90% sure, but I feel like he was portrayed very good. Like he was like Alan. He seemed like the best friend that would help you, and
Yeah, I just did a quick research, and it says that they introduced that Barbie Alan in 1964 as like Ken's best friend.
Okay.
We're on the same page right now, Ashley. Because a little further down, it says the Barbie Happy Family line included Alan, his pregnant wife, Midge, and their son, Ryan. Mm-hmm. And in 1992, Alan and Midge were featured in booklets holding baby twins. So they were together.
And then one of the other discontinued Barbies was the one that was like a teen one that grew boobs. I don't remember which one it was. And they said it in the movie, and I can't remember which one it was. But she was discontinued because she literally grew boobs. And she went from like child to like teen where she grew boobs, so they discontinued her. Because I looked that up too when they showed that, but I can't think of the name. I should have wrote it down.
That was a really early.
It was a skipper Barbie.
Was it a skipper? Well, yeah, I think it was.
Called growing up skipper. Make her grow from a young girl to a teenage in seconds.
Yes.
Oh, your face, Helena.
To a teenage. Okay, I thought you were gonna say like young girl to a woman, but to a teenage.
Yeah.
They also had a grown up ginger one too. Yeah. It was just a growing up skipper Barbie.
And you have the sugar daddy discontinue one. I know Tiff wants that Barbie. If they could find it, she would buy it.
I saw that. I would like that as well.
Cheering Ken. I want the magic cheering Ken. Does everybody know the story behind the magic Ken? They discontinued him because the LGBTQ community was buying him up. They were like, nope, this is sending the wrong message. We have to discontinue.
Was this the 80s?
I don't know. I feel like it was the 90s.
That works too. I remember things that happened that I said in the 90s that I will never repeat. But yes, 90s, that fits. We were not. Society was not.
So
good.
I was like that one.
Yeah.
Not the queers.
Right?
Yeah.
How dare?
How dare you?
I mean, you think you'd just be happy that people are buying your toy and you're making money, but no, how dare you?
And I'm sure, I think somebody protested it, probably like, no.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Greek culture never happened.
Daughter's not going to play with a gay Barbie doll.
Remember Sodom and Gomorrah? When that city was destroyed, they were all destroyed. Yeah, okay. Come on, people now.
I think we should talk about the speech that the one actor gave to all the Barbies. Can someone quote it? I would look it up, but can one of you guys quote it? Because I feel like that was such a big line in the movie.
And I feel like
it kind of made the movie. One of you guys want to read it? I'm just on my phone, or else I totally would.
America Ferrera, she was so good.
Yeah, she is. I like that actress. Ever since she did the Traveling Pants.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little shout out to her Disney movie though. The
Si se puede?
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
I was like, yes. Wasn't it her husband that said that? And her daughter was like, Dad.
She was like, "That's a political statement, Dad."
Right?
Oh, on the near the end of the movie that I was confused about when you made that. Okay,
I think I found it.
I wasn't a Disney kid really.
If you want me to read it, I found the whole monologue.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it says like, it is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart. It kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin. Is that me?
Yeah.
You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say what you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but you always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behaviors, which is insane. But if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women because you're supposed to be part of the sisterhood. But always stand out and always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigid. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It is too hard. It is too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says that thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself, every single other woman, tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll just representing a woman, then I don't even know. That's all it says.
Powerful. I mean, it really is. And the way she delivers it in the movie is just so damn good too. And it just, because it feels very just off the cuff.
Yeah. And I think I'm so happy that she was nominated for awards for that, because she did deliver in that movie. And I know some people were upset about, which I agree, that it was kind of upsetting that everyone in the movie, America Ferrera got nominated, but Margot Robbie didn't. But Ken got nominated and he won.
It's called missing the point of the movie, is what that is called.
Well, even the host that was hosting the Golden Globes, literally missed the whole concept of why this movie was made and made a joke about it.
What?
And everyone's like, oh yeah, it was all over TikTok and stuff, and they made a comment and everyone's like, you obviously didn't watch the movie or got the message, buddy.
Was it a guy?
Oh, of course.
Okay. I was just...
So this is what he said. Oppenheimer is based on a 721-page Pulitzer Prize-winning book about the Manhattan Project, and Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies. The key moment in Barbie is when she goes from being perfect beauty to bad breath, cellulite, and flat feet, or what casting directors call character actor.
This is what the guy said at the award show?
Yes. It said this on live. It said this on live TV, and then of course they pan to Greta and everyone else that's within that movie, and it's very apparent that they're like, you're a dumbass.
I mean, this movie is not about the toy. It's about what women go through in life and how women are supposed to be, in quotations, perfect in this whole sense that you that's the point of this movie. Anyone that missed that, you're a fucking idiot. You are. I mean, I'm a man and I didn't miss it. I caught the point 100%. I haven't gone through near what you guys go through.
That's my expression. That was what.
I know. It's I've seen, any guy who's dated, who's married, who has daughters, you see what women go through on a daily basis. How can you be so blind? But people are.
There are some men who it doesn't matter if they have sisters or daughters or, other women in their family. It does not matter to them. They do not care about what women go through. Yeah. Or they even blame the women in their family for the treatment that they get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was an idiot at certain times of my life, but once I got older, 17, 18, started dating, I understood more. I wasn't wasn't, I changed. When I see people like, especially in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you're the same way, like it's not, you just never, you don't, you didn't grow as a person. And like that guy, you're here up on a, national TV and you're doing a speech. Why are you insulting the winner in the first place? Like, and Oppenheimer is a historical movie about dropping a bomb that entered the world nuclear age, which is not a good thing, but change history, yes, but...
So was that written for him, or did he just think that out?
Well, that was another thing, is like when he would say his monologues or his jokes throughout the thing, is that he would make jokes afterwards, like, oh, I didn't write this. So it was like the host was trying to like catch up.
Worse.
Yeah.
But it's not all guys that are like that. There are some girls that do that too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and I mean that's not what I was, but yeah, I've met enough, and I've heard stories from what you women have gone through. So that's there's a lot of idiots out there. I think about that. Like, I mean, I know before me and Tiff met some of the guys that you almost dated from OkCupid and stuff, like the sock guy. I love the story.
Do you want me to? He wanted me. We hadn't even met, and he wanted me to throw away all my shoes. And I thought he was joking. I was like, "Are you gonna buy me new ones?" And he was like, "No, just throw away all your shoes and walk outside in Bobby socks." I was like, and I just, since he was doing all this detailed stuff, I was like, "How did this thing become? Why are you like this or whatever?" I wasn't kink shaming him. I was just curious, and he's like, well, that's for another time. We need to get to know each other. You asked me to throw away my shoes. I feel like I deserve an answer into why you're asking me to throw away my shoes. I wasn't rude about it. I was just wondering why you want me to throw away my shoes. And then he wouldn't meet me in a public place. He was like, come over to my place. Oh, well, can't we like at least meet at McDonald's? And he's like, no. And I'm like, oh, nope, delete. Like, I was trying to give him a chance, okay?
I will kink shame that man.
Yeah.
That's gross. And you're weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird kink. And you should feel embarrassed. You fucking weirdo. I hope he listens to this and he knows he's a weird little dude.
It's just one of my favorite stories. But I mean, it really just shows just an example of what you women go through with especially with dating and dating sites and the idiots that are out there. Like, and I feel like that's kind of what this movie was, making fun of so much, and people got mad. Like the fact that the men in this movie are all mostly idiots, and like when Ryan Gosling Ken goes to the real world and sees the books about patriarchy and stuff like that and horses, and he tried to turn Barbie Land into something different, and it doesn't work. And just like the whole fact where he's saying Mojo Casa, or what does he say?
Mojo
Dojo. Casa House.
And don't they all pretty much mean house, I think, from the joke of it?
They all mean house, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it just...
She's like, you don't have to say... And he's like, what? I like it. It sounds cool. I'm like, okay.
And I just like the fact that it's the younger, the younger girl that points that out, that says that to him. She also played Ahsoka too in the Ahsoka show when she's a kid, so props for her. I love Ahsoka. Neither here nor there. I got
the horses, though. The horses sent me. Every time they brought up the frickin' horses, I was laughing so hard I was crying, especially when he was like, I thought the patriarchy was about horses.
I like that. I like how they're, portrayed stupid. And I like how his job isn't lifeguard, it's beach cat. Like, beach. It's hilarious.
Like,
I'm gonna beach you off.
I love that.
I was like, no.
When they started saying, like, I'm gonna beat you off, I was like, oh, this is not a kid's movie. What do you mean?
Like, okay, when I watched it more, I'm like, I understand why some parents were a little bit upset, but their kids wouldn't get that joke. They wouldn't get that.
They did such a good job performing. I mean, I wonder how many takes that took without laughing. Because, I mean, it was just... And it's funnier when I saw it in theaters and I had no subtitles. And I know they're saying beat you off, beach, but it really sounds like beat. And I'm like, this is great.
Well, the Ken rivalry just got me. Like,
it's hilarious.
They were like, Ken. Like, and Barbie's just like, oh, hi, Ken. And, like, she didn't care which Ken she was saying hi to, but they are all like, that's my Barbie. Like,
that's great. It's so good.
I think the best Ken was John Cena. That was the mermaid.
The one scene.
Hi, Barbie.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, I think he just wanted to be in this movie, and he's like, sure, I'll just do whatever.
Oh, funny.
It's fucking hilarious. And and with Alan, it was Michael. I think from what I remember reading, Michael Cera's idea he wanted to do it. He wanted to be that character.
He's my favorite Barbie.
I like Michael Cera. He was in Scott Pilgrim, the best movie ever. I love that.
He looks a lot like Alan too. Like it was a good portrayal of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor Alan. Poor Alan.
I just like when they're trying to escape at the one point, they're building the wall up and not across, and he's like, sooner or later they're going to figure out they're building it wrong. We got to go.
As soon as they figure out how to build it across and not up, we're in trouble.
Just hilarious. I don't know. I really enjoyed seeing the men played as idiots in this. It made me laugh so much.
Will Ferrell was a fun choice as well. I didn't expect Will Ferrell to be in it.
By the way, he looks a lot like the current CEO of Mattel. So.
Is he really?
Yes.
Oh, you Googled?
Yes, he does. He looks kind of like the guy, and I'm like, I don't feel like this is a coincidence they did this.
That's even better.
Oh my god, he looks just like him.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I mean, can they make the joke? He's like, we had a woman CEO in the 90s and the 60s. Like,
all women.
I mean, they did, but it's just I like how they're calling out the fact it's like your biggest selling toy is Barbie, yet you don't have women in charge of your company. Like, I love that they're doing that, and the fact it's completely true.
I like how he's wearing pink though. I'm like.
Just everything the CEO stuff where there's no women in the board at all. Another thing that I kept thinking about with this film too that I want to bring up that I really like the other Ken, Simu Lee, if I pronounce his name right, Shang-Chi, as I know him as. Mm-hmm. I really like that actor. He does a great job in this movie.
That was?
Yeah, that's Shang-Chi. That we might never see in a movie again because the MCU is bombing and falling apart. So
I liked that movie.
I did too. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. Doesn't get enough credit. But I was going to say something else, and now I'm trying to think. But like some of the stuff with like to go back to the real world, like when Ken is there, like the way that he dresses up as a cowboy, and nobody's making fun of him. But when you have Margot Robbie dressed up in her pink outfit, you have people making fun of her, and I think that's also a good contrast to kind of show what women go through too.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if we dress up, it's for the male gaze. It's not because we like what we're wearing. It's for men.
Of course it is. Why else would we dress up? Not for ourselves. It's for the men to ogle us.
Literally.
I hate that.
Our existence is for the men.
Women dress up for women. I swear. That's what I think.
I dress up so that women will compliment me on the street or in the bathroom.
It is the best feeling when a woman is like, I love when somebody's like, I love your leggings. Because I love wearing or I love your sweatshirt. I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah, that actually makes me think of a situation where like I used to get ready for other reasons, but now as I've gotten older, I get ready for me because it makes me feel good. But I remember I've been coloring my hair for on and off for a couple of years now, and I was dating a guy, and we went somewhere. And I just had my hair like I normally do. And he made a comment about how many people were complimenting me on my hair. He's like, man, there's a lot of people that compliment on your hair. And I'm just like, and?
But you have beautiful hair. I love your hair.
But it was just like reflecting on it now in the moment. It didn't really
register
why he was making that comment. And now that we're talking, I'm realizing he probably was. Most guys do sometimes when a girl gets a compliment, and most of the compliments were from women. So
why did he care?
Because I think some men are just terrified that their woman's gonna be stolen away from them by anybody.
Why are you stealing my mic right now? Stop doing that.
Okay, Brittany said
I want to talk too.
Get him.
This is why I need to get a microphone someday and a real nice setup.
Well,
but I'm cheap, so I don't want to do that either.
I want a pink and purple one with sparkles on it, please.
Get it for her.
Yes, right now.
Don't be a misogynist. Get her the microphone.
I actually do want to get the setup where I can have multiple microphones and work well next to each other.
Yes, please.
But I haven't. I'm afraid to. I don't know how much that would cost me to go through that setup.
Then I don't have to practically sit in your lap. Take it off me.
Ash, actually, that's such a good point, though, and I think that there's also this experience that men don't understand because men don't go up to each other and say "Hey, nice ass." They're not socialized to compliment each other like women really are. Yeah. It's not it's not unusual for a lady to come up, and if a woman came up and said like your tits look great, I'd be like, oh fuck yeah. But I don't think men do that to each other. So when they like see it happening with women, they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are they getting all this attention? Are they doing things just for the attention? You know what I mean?
Yeah. When in reality, we're just being nice. Like,
we're literally just existing.
Yeah, like just giving someone a compliment. Yeah.
We just want to look beautiful. Can't we look beautiful for ourselves and not for you? Like, why does it have to be for you?
I mean, I think you're beautiful all the time. I tell you that every day.
I will say my brother sometimes compliments other guys or just anyone in general. Like, oh, I like your this. And so there are guys that will compliment.
I try to do that with people's hoodies and shirts sometimes. Like there was a guy wearing a Zelda shirt recently, a Majora's Mask shirt, and I was going to say something, but I didn't because it was under his hoodie and I didn't want to. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just leave it. But I mean, I've tried to do it now. I've been wearing a 64 controller and some other stuff in the back of my hoodie, and people have complimented it. I normally wear a Zelda hoodie, which I will be again shortly. And people are always complimenting. And I try to do the same thing to people, the men and stuff. I won't compliment women because I don't want to come off as a creep, so I don't say a fucking word. Because I will come off as a creep, even though I'm not meaning to be at all. That's what they're going to think. So I don't say a word.
Well, there's ways to compliment women that aren't, like misogynistic or creepy. I don't feel
comfortable unless it's somebody I know personally. Like I don't want, because I just don't want to. I mean, and I would never say something like woohoo or something stupid. I would just say like, you want to say you look very pretty or something. That's a nice shirt, but I just don't. Like, I just don't ever, so my whole thing is I just don't really say anything. I have said nice shirt or something because it'll be wearing like a video game shirt and I like it. So that has happened. But otherwise, if it's not someone I know, I'm very, very careful how I talk.
I do want to challenge the men who are listening to this podcast to start complimenting other men more regularly or make it a point to start doing that.
I agree.
I've gotten better, but I compliment my friends for sure. I have no problem. I mean, I'm not a macho man or anything. I have no yeah. I'm not like that. So I know you want to say something, but I don't. You don't have to.
Okay. I blame your dad.
No, I do too. I blame upbringing for a lot of why a lot of men are like that. I mean, that's definitely for me. Took me a long time to recognize certain things because of that. But and I think that's one reason this movie didn't, made people uncomfortable because it makes them recognize things that they didn't want to see. Like I'm sure people didn't like how friendly the Kens are. Like, the whole. I mean, and again, there's a lot of like innuendos and jokes that are in there that I like. The whole like the beat you off stuff, and then you have the stuff later on when they're fighting and they're like dancing and like a grease number. Like you have things that would have made certain men, I feel like, very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the dance scene. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because that was so good. I'm mad that Ryan Gosling won over like. Margot Robbie wasn't even nominated, but at the same time, that dance scene was fucking incredible. That the choreography was stellar, and just the premise of it was so ridiculous and fun. And also when the Kens they all played the same song around the beach at night.
It was just like over and over again. I'm just like,
yeah. They also said that so when Barbie goes to Ken and she's like, hey, I want to spend time with you or whatever it was, Ryan kept going back and saying different words each time. So they stuck with the sublime, but he was doing different phrases each time. So they were like breaking every time that like Margot and Greta specifically were like cracking up every single time because he kept saying these just like ridiculous words.
He's a great actor. I really like Ryan Gosling. It's just have him nominated and then win. And ignore Margot Robbie and stuff. It's like you're just looking at you're just ignoring the point of the movie, and it's like you made,
you're proving.
Yes, you're proving the point. That's what I wanted. Thank you. Yes. It's just, I thought that was like, come on, people. It's a movie
Brittany, how do you feel about the Kens?
I liked them. I thought it was interesting how they portrayed them. Like I said at the beginning, I think some of them were interesting, and some of them were, whatever. I liked it. I didn't have anything against it, but I mean, it shows that we live in a man's world. So no matter what we do, it's a man's world. So
I do like the whole thing where he's like, I want you to be my long-term, not
long-term, low. It's like it was like something like where they don't live together, but they're committed and they're long distance, but they're committed. And
it was like occasional this, that. It was fun.
Yeah. I did like how in the beginning of the movie they were like after the introduction, and when they introduced like Ken, they were like the only time Ken is happy or something like that is when Barbie acknowledges him. Did you guys remember that part at the beginning?
Yep.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely liked that as well. I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah.
Long-term, long-distance, low-commitment, casual girlfriend.
He should have just said situationship.
Situationship, yeah.
It would have been as funny.
Doesn't Barbie say something similar at the end?
Kind of, but I feel like she says more like you got to figure out who Ken is or something, or like, I don't know. I can't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
She said you have to figure out who Ken is without Barbie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, just to be in any relationship, you have to be in a good relationship, you need to be happy with yourself first, or you're not going to be a good partner in any shape or form. I think that's kind of what they were saying there, too, and he wasn't a good partner.
No, he definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
Takes over her house and then just everything. She's like, this is Barbie's dream house, not Ken's dream house. I like that.
I did love his outfit when he went full Ken and he had the big like fur jacket and like the head thing. Yeah. And weird Barbie is so funny because I think we've all had the weird Barbie before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question was actual the weird Barbie, was that actually like, did they actually sell the weird Barbie, or was the weird Barbie being like as in when we cut the Barbie and like draw on it? Like that was my question. Like I was like, did they actually make a weird Barbie like that?
No, that's like your overplayed Barbie. Like you cut her hair and you put lipstick on her and
you love her a little too much.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably sell her now, but
yeah,
it was just a Barbie that you had that you eventually you just modified. On your own.
That's a good word for it.
Cut her hair, did stuff to it. I mean, I feel like we all did that, but it never had a name.
I like weird Barbie. That's a good.
I liked, so like when I was younger, every Halloween my mom would get us the special Halloween Kelly doll because they had a new costume every year for them. And so I'm just remembering that now. I like had suppressed that memory. But my weird Barbie was the Kelly, and it had really long brown hair, so I cut it really short, and then I used like some kind of like wax to turn the hair blue, and I was so proud of it. I was like, this is the coolest Barbie I have.
I was more of a Bratz girl.
Hell yeah.
I can believe that.
I wasn't a big Barbie girl. I was definitely more of a Bratz girl. Like, yeah.
Who was your favorite Bratz doll?
Definitely Sasha, for sure. I had tons. I had everything to go with it. And I just remember when I finally outgrew it, my mom gave all my Bratz dolls to the little neighbor girl, and I was so pissed about it, even though I wasn't playing with it, but I was so pissed.
I don't care.
So pissed. Oh, okay. I was just so mad, and I stopped playing with them, but I had everything, literally everything when it came to Bratz. And they did, I don't know if you guys saw that, but they did in the movie when the girls sat at the lunch table, those were the Brat dolls, right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's the same name. But it's the same name, so why not? I mean, it makes sense.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
The same name as the Brat doll.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. I told you that.
Well, I mean, you told me the Brat part, but I didn't know they had the same names.
Yeah.
That's
they had the same names. Jade, Chloe, Sasha, and then what was the other one?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I didn't notice that, but now that table makes so much more sense.
They rip her apart when she comes over.
Yeah.
They call her a fascist, and she's like, I don't control the railways or commerce.
I like that. I just thought it was funny that fascist was the one of the insults they used. I'm like, I thought that was good. One scene that I feel like also was some symbolism too is when Barbie does go back to Mattel and they're trying to put her in the box. Not even they just put her in the box, but the way they do it, where they all of a sudden have like the plastic to go around her hands to lock her in place. I feel like that is such a symbolism there, because you could have just had her go in the box and then walk out, but the fact that you have it go across her hand and then zoom in on it, like you're trying to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is funny when she's escaping and they can't catch her and they're just idiots. Like that was great too. But
yeah,
let's crawl over the cubicle. It'll be faster.
This reminded me of Astergos from Assassin's Creed, what it looked like to me.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. That's just what I thought of. Someone else got that joke.
Okay. Probably Helena.
I don't know if she's played Assassin's Creed. Have you, Helena?
She's
okay,
like, no. My bad.
It doesn't involve like Baldur's Gate. So
There's no
I-
trauma in it. I need a game with trauma.
I mean, there is trauma in Assassin's Creed. I mean, but not. I don't know much about Baldur's Gate 3, unfortunately, so I can't make a joke.
You have weird dreams that makes me think you're gonna murder me.
Oh yeah, it was Assassin's Creed, wasn't it? When I woke up and said something about I'm going to kill you or something, and I was in my sleep.
I thought it was you. I thought you were having weird dreams about Mikey killing you. I was like, what the hell?
No. Well, he talked in his sleep, and he's like, well, I gotta get the gun or the knife because I've done this before and I know what I'm doing. And we were first together, and I was like, I think I need to sleep on the couch. And then I talked to him. He's like, well, I was playing Assassin's Creed. Maybe that's why I was like, so I was scared for my life for like a day or two.
So scared for your life 8 years later.
We weren't married yet either. I was like, I needed to rethink the situation.
You should talk about when you bought a frying pan recently, what you did.
Yeah, I like the way I test it out is I swing it
At me.
to see if I can hit somebody. Because I'm like, if an intruder is coming in, this is how I'm taking them out.
This is funny. She also saw it on TikTok too, and that's the start. But she already did it before the TikTok.
I already did it. Like
I know, but it was just funny.
That was me.
One of the other scenes, I'm trying to think. Some of this, like, I do like the whole mother-daughter stuff with America Ferrera and her daughter, like the way that they grow throughout the movie. I think all that's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything American Ferrera is just great. Like we talked about earlier, the speech. I mean, that is so good. But she just did such a great job in this movie too. I mean, they all did. All the actors. Margot Robbie was amazing. I think Margot Robbie deserved an Oscar. Yeah, it wasn't the level of Hereditary where that woman was robbed, but
yes, she was.
Helena, you ever seen Hereditary?
Didn't she record? No, she didn't record.
Excuse me?
Wait, you were with us, weren't you? I don't even
You
remember.
recorded with us, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was
Oops.
like,
Mikey, what are you doing?
Stumbling.
He's on drugs.
It's called stumbling and putting your foot in your mouth. That's what it's called.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think I could make it the day that you guys were recording, but I
Okay.
was supposed to.
Okay.
And I think I was the one who recommended it to you.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Still put my foot in my mouth, but at least maybe not as bad.
I was like, wait a second.
But no, I was just thinking of like with that woman, she was robbed. She deserved an Oscar for that
she
damn
deserved
performance
an
when her daughter dies. But Margot Robbie deserved an Oscar for this movie. She really, and like everything she did, she does a great job. And you know, they really did show the point of what they were missing the point of the movie when they nominate, and Ryan wins, even though he's a great actor, but still.
They both did a great job. She should have at least been nominated.
Yeah. And then you have the part when they get arrested twice, they don't understand how money works, and they're like, "Yeah, you can keep the clothes because you look hot." And I'm just like, okay, like, come on now.
I mean, I did like all their outfits. Their outfits were really cute. The cowgirl outfit was probably my favorite.
Yes.
Makes me want to be a cowgirl. So
Halloween, Brittany. Be the cowgirl.
I mean, if somebody has a Halloween party, I'm always down. But I'm not going to go trick or treating or dress up to, I mean, I guess I could dress up. But I don't really want to go to the bars either, though. So
Probably not that outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting when the Oscars roll around and see like what really transpires with the winners. I mean, Ryan Gosling is up against some other really great actors like Mark Ruffalo, Robert De Niro, and like people that have, been nominated before, which I think maybe he has been nominated. I'm not sure, but
I feel like he's won before.
I'm not sure. I
like that actor. I like him a lot. He was really good in Blade Runner 2049 also. That's a good movie.
Want to be on a podcast?
She does, apparently. There's a cat for those that are on the video. You can see a tail.
He won in 2007, 2017. Or maybe. Oh wait, no. He hasn't won any. I take that back. He was nominated.
Why do you torture our child?
What? She wants to be on the podcast.
She does not want to have her paw lifted like she's a doll.
She wants to be on the podcast.
I think there's some other scenes that I know I want to talk about the ending, but not yet. But I'm trying to think of some other scenes that we haven't mentioned yet. Oh, like when Margot Robbie come back and American Ferrera convinces her to stand up and they start getting the Barbies back to normal. I do like how they just kidnap them pretty much, put them in the van, then have them, she does the monologue and that snaps them out of it.
They're like, ding.
I liked the diversity of the Barbies that they had too. They had like all different shapes and ethnicities, and it wasn't like pigeonholed into like one blonde Barbie across the board.
See, if this movie was directed by a man, it would have been. So.
Yeah.
Yup.
I mean, it would have been really interesting to see the difference of how it would have been portrayed if it was directed by a man or not.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I also know after this movie, did amazing in the box office, people are like, oh, now we got to make more movies on G.I. Joe and like other toys. Like, no, you're missing the point. The reason this movie did good is not because it's based on a toy.
Well, that's why a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a Barbie 2, and I'm like, there's really no reason to.
No.
Like, I mean, now you're just doing it to make money. The whole point of the movie was to show the message, not. I mean, yeah, the money helps, but
no, I mean, it's.
I don't know where they would go with.
You can't. There's no continuation. It's like it's not. It's not that kind of movie.
100%.
Like, you're not going to have an Oppenheimer 2, hopefully.
I mean, they could probably figure something out.
I mean, yeah, but you have to base on their historical bomb dropping, and thank God there hasn't been another one of those yet. So of that caliber, so it's okay.
The last line of the movie, like, I thought she was going to a job interview.
Same.
And then she's like, I'm here to see the gynecologist. I was crying laughing at that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And she chose the, what kind of shoes are they? Birkenstock? No.
Yeah, they were Birkenstocks.
Yeah. So did you get the Matrix moment where it was like, you get the heel or the Birkenstock? Is it the red or the blue pill?
Wow. God, they really thought of everything.
Yeah. There was a lot of like movie moments in there that I really liked.
And I made a comment to him, like, you haven't even seen Matrix, and you just looked at me like I was an idiot. It was fair for my comment, so I was like, you haven't even seen the Matrix yet. Like, a man's playing, like, what am I doing?
Because I've just been living under a rock my entire life.
You should watch Matrix, by the way.
No thanks.
You should. It's a good movie. You just stop at 1. You don't need to see 2 or 3. Just stop at 1 and you go, this is a great movie. Good they never made any sequels. That's all.
I do like Keanu Reeves.
He's good in that movie. 2 and 3 are not good movies, but 1 is great.
We can stop now.
No, never.
Okay.
I know a lot of people got offended by that final scene where she goes to the gynecologist. I remember you talking about it on Facebook. You saw people posting and complaining.
Yeah, well, they got offended by the whole movie, but
yes.
They were like, it's gonna change people's lives. I'm like, it has a powerful message, but it's not gonna like ruin your daughter's life if she goes to see, or your son's. Like, hopefully he'll understand the message, but he's not gonna like grow horns if he goes see the Barbie movie.
People acted like that. I remember that was a discourse on some of the internet.
Like it was kind of some of the threads. It was like a Harry Potter, this is a devil movie kind of thing. And I'm just like, it's not like that. It has a really powerful message, and maybe it'll get through to some child, but it's not a devil movie. Like,
how dare women stand up for themselves? Like, come on.
Right?
That was the issue with the people that didn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because the movie's all about women empowerment.
Yeah.
And about what women go through. And I don't know how people miss that by choice, but...
Empathy kind of takes a level of intelligence, and so when I hear people that don't like the movie because it's too much about like women and all that, what I'm hearing is I am actually stupid and I have never used more than 2 brain cells at a time.
I mean, you just have to be blind, I feel, to not, at this point, for anybody, to not realize what the average woman goes through. And that goes for everybody. There's women out there that had different lives and didn't go through some of the stuff that, that the average woman goes through, like with dating and everything else. And it's like, and this movie really brings a lot of that out there to kind of show, like, even the simple thing of the construction workers, when she goes there to ask them for help when she's in the real world, and they just start hitting on her.
Yeah.
In very crude ways, too. It's like, come on now. But I'm sure that's happened to people.
This reminds me a lot. You remember when we did the Labyrinth episode and we talked about when Sarah was falling through the tunnel of hands, and I mentioned that that's a very female experience, to have people grabbing you while you're out on the street and not know who it is.
Yeah.
This conversation has reminded me a lot of that conversation.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. Like, it was years ago.
I want to redo that with you, Helena, for some reason.
She was upset that Stu talked so much. It's okay. You won't hear this. He can talk a lot.
I want to do it with Ken and Bill. That's Keith and Bob.
And she loves Labyrinth. But ever since we had that conversation about Labyrinth, I always think about that too. Because we've seen that movie multiple times since that day. You can believe that. So I always think about that, what you said, and what women go through. And I also, because of conversations that I've had, I think about that more and more when I watch movies or just anything in general that is, trying to show what people go through, like this movie.
I mean, walking in, like she said, people touching you, walking in crowds, like big conventions, it's like kind of nerve-wracking. You don't know who's going to be touching you. I mentioned I like wearing leggings. To a convention, I wore Scare Bear leggings, and Care Bears dressed as horror people. And I was meeting the Candyman, okay? I thought it fit. And these people in line were like, "Oh, your leggings are cute." And then suddenly they were looking hardcore at my leggings because they wanted to see the characters and up close and personal, like they were 2 feet away from me. And I just wanted to hide because I'm like, they were on my sweatshirt as well. And like on the sleeves, you could clearly look at the sleeves and see what they were. Like, you don't need to look at my legs that close, I felt a little uncomfortable because 1 or 2 of them were men and a couple of them were women. I'm like, you don't need to look at my legs that close.
Or at least just be respectful to a person and not make it obvious and not.
Because they were just like, "Oh, there's this character and this character." Yeah, I'm like, don't make it obvious.
I had a con experience once where something really bad had happened. I was sobbing my guts out. My friends were around me helping me, and this guy comes up and he goes, "You look so beautiful."
Oh.
And I was like, I think I looked at him. I was like, "Get the fuck away from me!" Like,
why?
Why would you go up to someone who is having like an emotional breakdown and be like,
"Yeah,
well, thank God you're palatable because you're still cute." Like,
that's awful.
So I'm not reading the room, like people.
Yeah.
Right, read the fucking room, dude.
But also, why are you talking to someone that's crying? That you're not like, unless you're checking to make sure they're okay or something you can help. But like, I see if you're at a car accident, you're crying, you go up to them, "Hey, can I help you?" Like,
yeah.
You don't.
How he expected that to go in his mind as me crying and saying, "You're so beautiful." I was like, "Thank you." I was crying because I was scared. I wasn't.
I feel so
Can I
validated
get your number
now.
Yeah, please give me your phone number. Can I suck your dick later too? Like, oh my God.
I had a guy at Walmart yell at me the other day because I didn't give him attention. I was walking and I literally just go there because I was baking muffins and I was going there to get baking soda. Okay. And it was probably like 8:30 at night and I'm walking like down an aisle and this guy is like walking towards me and I'm like, I know this guy is going to say something to me. And he goes, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." And I kept walking. He goes, "That's all I fucking get." And I'm like, "What do you want, buddy?" Like, I'm not interested. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not giving you the time of the day. And I honestly just left the gym. So I know for a fact I didn't even look that cute. Like no.
I don't get how.
Awful.
Why do people do that? Like, or maybe so. Why do guys do it? Like, I mean, I have made my dumb things where I hit like. I was a pet store I went to at one time back when I was single, and I gave this girl my phone number, and that was it. And I left it at that. She worked there. I said, "Here's my phone number. I'd like to talk to you." And then I left that. Never approached her again. Never said a word. I didn't. She wasn't interested. I mean, I would still shop there from time to time, but I just decided to try it. But I left that. But I don't get how. Like, I have never gotten, or nor would I ever get mad at somebody for just not. If I'm especially. You're being a creep when you're at a store like that, just bugging somebody. Like, I can see you say hi and see how they respond, but you can't get mad at them because they're not interested.
What did he want?
And it was nice.
From you?
Well, Helena said.
He probably thought he had a dick and I could hop on it. And I was like, "No, thank you." But, I responded. I said, "I'm good." And that's all. Like, I don't feel like I need to turn around and be like, "Oh, how are you? Thank you for asking me how I'm doing." Because my life revolves around you. Like, no, like I'm going to keep moving and call it a day.
I don't get people.
I was at a Walmart that I don't really like going to. So, yeah. So, but
I'm curious now, what city was it?
So it's Venice Heights, but Venice Heights is a nice area, but just because they closed other Walmarts in like the inner city, which, I'm from St. Paul. So it's like, like I don't judge people from St. Paul in any sense. I'm a St. Paul girl. So, but it's just, I just don't want to be bothered when I'm shopping. Like,
I worked at that Venice Heights Walmart at the FedEx for a little while. So
you understand then.
Well, it's just people in general. Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like, I worked at Woodbury and I had the meanest people I've ever met anywhere.
Well, of course.
So Woodbury.
It's Woodbury.
No, it was a very rich area where I was at, and they were just a fucking assholes, and I just wanted to yell at them. I could not, but I wanted to.
I honestly don't think like the location matters. To be honest, like even if you're in like a less affluent area, I feel like the harassment is just anywhere you go. It just changes a little bit. the vocabulary changes a little bit just depending on the affluency of the area, but it doesn't stop. Still fucking weird.
No, and
Yeah,
you guys didn't have to deal with it. I'm assuming all of you had dealt with it a lot. I mean, I know stuff. I just don't. But like I feel bad. Like shouldn't. I mean, through my life, I try to make sure I don't ever make people feel uncomfortable. Like I try not to like ever come off as a creep in general. Like I will purposely, when I do things, when I walk around, I make sure that I give people space. That like at conventions and things are very close, I try to make sure that my hands are. I won't accidentally bump into someone by complete accident and make them feel uncomfortable. Like I'm always conscious of that. I try to be.
All I can think of is the time with Lexi. Like, my friend was very, very drunk. She decided to sit on Mike's lap, and he just put his hands up, like, I'm not touching her. Like, I'm not. And I was like...
I didn't know her that well either.
Well, yes. And I was like, Mike, you have to hold her. She's going to fall. I was like, it's okay. Hold her waist. She's going to fall. Like, he was being super respectful, but she was so drunk, she wasn't, like, good.
She didn't remember nothing.
I mean, that you still need to be respectful.
No, I know, but I mean, like, she didn't remember anything. What I'm trying to say is she didn't remember what happened. No, I'm always respectful.
She was going to fall off your lap, so you needed to grab something. You needed to grab her waist or her arm or...
I did. I was very careful.
Yes.
But that's just... And that's how I try to live. I try to be very, very respectful to people and not make people feel uncomfortable.
I was at a con once, and, there was this cosplay model who, she's very well known for, like, doing pictures with her booty or her boobs. That's just kind of her thing. And there's this guy waiting in line to get a picture with her who was snapping photos of her butt when she was speaking to other people. And I was like, hey, like, she has not consented to you doing that. You need to stop. And he was like, well, she's just a whore. And I, like, started screaming at this dude, and he left. So he left. And I was like, cool, we're good. Like a week later, this man had made a fake profile of me on Instagram. And I had just gone through like a car accident recently. I had like a neck brace. And he uploaded the picture of me with the neck brace. And he said, I broke my neck from sucking too much dick.
I remember that.
I still think it's hilarious. Like, yeah, it's really fucked up. But also that is so fucking funny to me. Yeah, but like, what a piece of shit. And of course, his way to shame women after sexualizing a woman, he thinks that, he sexualized this other woman, and then he sexualized me in a way to make me look bad. So this man is literally like, yanking with the right, pointing with the left.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, somebody yells at me, like, you just move on, you just forget about it. Like, to be that upset that this woman yells at you to convention, that you look her up, find pictures of her, and then they go through all that effort. Like, because I'm sure you weren't that easy to find. Like, I'm assuming it wasn't a convention where you had, like, oh, here's my Instagram, here's my stuff, like, you can find me. Like, it wasn't like that.
I'm not quite sure. Yeah, he had to find me somewhere, which, I mean, if he was a convention guy, I'm sure he watched all the big, like, cosplay pages on Instagram and all that. But it's a lot of
work just because a woman is...
It is. They put a lot of work into when women say no to them because they find it so damaging that a woman would deny or defy them that they go fucking bananas.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being as a kid that, like as a young man, being told, oh, you just keep trying. Like, no, I mean, and that was the thing. People believe, like, no, you keep trying. Like a girl says, well, no, you keep trying. Like, that was a thing. No, I won't. You say no, you walk away. Like, that's it, But like, that mentality has stuck with people. You walk away, you leave it. They're not, I mean, it doesn't matter. But people are, and you think by now, like in 2024, like as a society, we should have grown up from that, and grown. But some people are stuck in the past. But no, I feel bad that you guys have gone through things like that, and I know stuff, what you guys have gone through.
I always think that people go through way worse than what I've gone through. So that's how I guess I look at it, like, oh, it's okay. I go through this little thing. Well, there's probably someone that goes through something way worse with guys. So at least I don't have to deal with that. And I think that's another reason why I don't have like certain social medias, because I feel like social media portrays people a certain way and then guys get obsessed. And yeah.
They have the parasocial relationships with online personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Right, anything else about the movie that we haven't talked about? Or I'm thinking, my brain, you want to bring up?
I don't think so.
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
I do.
You're thinking.
Yes.
Like, anything else?
Well, I just want to like Greta Gerwig. I don't think if I ever seen any of her other movies. I don't recognize the...
What did she do?
A lot of movies.
Yeah, she redid that one movie, Little Women. She redid Little Women, and then she also did Lady Bird. She's done a lot of movies. Let me see.
I remember people talking about Lady Bird. I wanted to see that, but I never did.
Yeah,
I never saw the remake of Little Women.
fine.
I've never seen any of these movies.
Oh, here we go. So yeah, she's did Barbie, Little Women, Lady Bird, and Nights and Weekends. I haven't seen that. Was from like 2008. I was in high school, so I don't know that one.
I do not either.
Yeah, so but she's also been a really well-known actress. She's been in a lot of movies.
That's cool. Nothing I know either, unfortunately, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I've never seen No Strings Attached, but I really like Natalie Portman. I've never seen that movie.
Natalie Portman.
You know.
It's not great.
Oh,
It's not great. No.
is that with Ashton Kutcher?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, a very similar movie came out at the same time.
At the same.
Yeah, I remember that. I forget what it's called, but I know it's that.
Benefits.
Yeah.
Friends with Benefits, yeah. It had Justin
yeah.
Timberlake in it and Mila Kunis.
That's why, because it was Justin Timberlake and Miley.
Oh, I didn't see either one.
Neither did I. Can we talk
That
about
is-
the scene at
Oh,
the
no,
end
go ahead.
with Rita Perlman?
Oh, yes. We haven't talked about that at all.
That was one of my favorite. I mean, I like Rita Perlman, but I thought they did it really well. She was like explaining to Barbie, like what would happen in the real world, and Barbie was almost like asking her. Well, she was asking her permission. Can I go into the real world? Can I be a real person? And Rita Perlman was like, you don't need my permission to do that.
Yeah, it's a powerful little moment, too.
Yeah.
And another thing that I completely didn't mention, like in the Barbie world, that everything's like women have power and are in charge of the government, and like, you know, and like the whole idea they say a lot is that, okay, you know, we help, you know, break those barriers, and, you know, women have equal rights and everything. And then, you know, like the whole idea when they get to the real world, I mean, our world is not true. And I think that was another real powerful message too that people probably didn't like. So.
One thing that we haven't talked about yet is why Barbie went to the real world, which was because the person who was playing with her, America Ferrera, was starting to have some like severe depression issues and, you know, thinking about thoughts of death and like, you know, body image issues. And so once she had that mindset change, suddenly Barbie had that mindset change, and her life went from picture perfect to suddenly like not everything was going wrong for her out of nowhere.
And she thought it was her daughter, and it was actually America Ferrera, which I thought that was interesting
It was
as well.
a really good little moment.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Essential Dread Barbie, and I forget what the other ones were. Cellulite Barbie.
Yeah, she was
Irrepressible feelings of death, Barbie.
Yeah.
actually-
Well, it fits. I mean, it's what we all, you know, humans are going to go through as we get, you know, older. We're going to think about death more and more. So, makes sense. I don't have anything else. But I'm trying to get anything else in the movie that I want to mention. I think we covered most things at this point.
I don't know. Don't look at me.
You're right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. I'll go first. I'm going to put this in the shelf. I love this movie. I teared up when I saw this movie in theaters because I thought it was so good and had so much meaning to it. And then I looked at the internet and saw that the internet people are stupid as fuck. But I love this movie. Watched it again. I'm sure I'll watch it again. I will always talk about this movie in a highly fashion and make fun of people that don't like it because they don't understand it. Because if you don't understand it, there's usually a reason. So I will have comments. Because I'm very strong-willed about certain things. And I don't like when people don't believe in women's rights. Because you're a piece of shit then. So, put it on the shelf. Love this movie. What about you, Tiffany?
Shelf. Yep. I do love this movie, and I would watch it again. Definitely had powerful message, and like everything Mike said, you know, people are stupid if they don't like it and they didn't get the message. And it disheartens me that the women that watched it did not get the message. Like, I don't understand that, especially the women that have daughters. Like, you didn't understand the message and you didn't like the movie. It's one if you understand the message, you don't like the movie, but you didn't understand the message.
I know some people got upset that she goes and sees a gynecologist. Like, they're like, oh, my daughter's like, daughter's going to figure out.
That was hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know people got upset online. Like, I remember reading something, some post somewhere on Facebook where a mother got upset that her daughter saw that.
That was freaking hilarious.
I mean, yeah. What about you, Helena?
Proudly displayed on the shelf. I love this movie. It's one of my top 5 movies. I think it's incredible. I cried for a lot of it as well. Yeah, it really moved me. And I think, in part because like I grew up on Barbies, all my Barbies were given to my nieces. And every time I see them, I get excited. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm going to popcorn to Ash. How did you feel about it?
I really enjoyed it. I like I said in the beginning, I came in with a totally different mindset of what I thought the movie was going to be about and came out really liking it even more and kind of gave me some aha moment to reflect on and things like that. So I would, what are the options?
Shelf, stack, or box.
How
Shelf.
to explain it to her.
Shelf means something you love. Stack means something you enjoy. Box means something you disliked.
Yeah, I would like shelf it. I really liked it.
And Brittany.
I agree with all of you guys on it. Since I watched it after everyone else watched it, I had a lot of feedback from other people, so I feel like I looked at it maybe differently. I loved the movie, but I definitely wouldn't say it's in like my top 5, that's for sure. I probably wouldn't even say it's in my top 10. It was good. So I would probably stack? Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't I might watch it again if it's on, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. Just not because of anything. It's just I prefer different types of movies, and
No, I know.
me. So
I'm also surprised you didn't see it in theaters.
I think I had the opportunity to go see it, but then I decided not to. And then by the time I was like, oh, I should go watch it in theaters, everyone already saw it, and so I had no one really to go with.
Oh.
I would
I'm
have
sure-
saw it again with you.
I'm sure you would have. And then I was like, oh, and then I was like, I'll just wait till it's free. And yeah, I enjoyed it though. Like I said, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again and again and again and again.
Because you were single at the time, weren't you? When this came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm making that joke, like when I know you went to the theater with Tiff and you saw what the prices were and you freaked out because you were like, I never paid for this. I have a boyfriend for.
I went to see Mean Girls, and she had a heart attack. How much a small pop was?
My pop was like $7 for a small. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I told the guy I'm checking out, so I was like, God, we should have went to the dollar store beforehand. I should have brought my big purse.
He was just looking at us. I was like, Brittany, shut up. And I was like, big bottle of water is like $5, and like the snacks are like $6, and she's like, what?
And then they had like a Mean Girl drink, and how much was that, Ashley? The Mean Girl drink?
Like $12, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, we can just go buy a bottle of Tito's at home, and I can make it for you. Like, I can be your bartender. Like, let's go.
Ashley, you're on mute.
I was eating, so I was like, I didn't want to ever. Yeah, no, I don't remember how much it was, and I was like, I don't care.
I love that story. It just made me laugh, so I had to share it. All right, I think that's And Helena, where can people find you at?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Hell Hath Fury, Hell with 1 L. And then on Twitch, I'm a regular live streamer, and you can find me at Hell Hath Fury TV, Hell with 1 L.
And you will see her link in the show notes to her link tree for all her stuff there in every episode, since she made our wonderful intro and outro.
Yes.
I've had now for, it's been over 3 years.
Is it really?
Yes.
2.
2.
2
years.
2? It was for Silent Hill 3, right? Okay, I feel like it's been longer, but again, time has no meaning to me.
Believe the creator, okay?
Yeah.
Hello.
What the hell am I doing?
I should know. I see the date every time when I publish an episode because at Audacity, I put the outro in, then it'll show me the date, and I have to change the date to 2024. So I see it every time. So I should know. So, time has no meaning to me. It just flows by each week. Oh, another podcast weekend recording. So if you enjoyed this episode or 550 other episodes of this podcast, you can find everything we do on Podbean. And if you want to support the show, please follow us. Please follow us on Patreon. For a little $1 a month, you can vote in our Patreon poll. We have a poll every month. You get to affect how the show happens and things that happen here and there. And please join our Discord to see the link in the show notes. Join our Discord. Need more people to talk with. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky. What else am I on? TikTok, squirrel videos. I make squirrel videos a lot.
Oh my God.
Because I sit here at my desk and I look outside and see squirrels and I make squirrel videos. So that's my talent.
The creepy one with the Harley Quinn mask that looks like you're going to the Purge. It's awful.
She hates that mask. And YouTube audio only. And because I almost forgot, I want to give a shout out to Bill Tucker from A Gamer Looks For You. Think check him out and check out Nomads of Fantasy and the Nintendo Main podcast. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.